The project we're working on here is an expansion of a pre-existing solar system. We're here adding an additional 7 solar tables onto the existing 9.
So from the start of the build, we use a laser level to take an average fall across the site, beginning at one end to the other end, to make sure we have an average height depth across the site. Once we've checked that, we then go and establish that height on the big machine. We put a receiver on there so that we make sure that the machine is installing all the screws straight line down the site.
There are 4 important phases to this project. Phase 1, site survey and load testing, to ensure the foundations are suitable for the application. Phase 2 is the installation of the foundations themselves. Phase 3 is to install the entirely modular solar framing system. And phase 4 is the installation of the solar panels.
Quite important to make sure that we are really checking and making sure that each panel is square to one another, and that from the end view you can really see a nice clear straight line across the solar panels. So just ensuring that really we make sure that every single stage along the way is double checked and measured and everybody's happy with it. There's a lot of adjustability in the structure itself, so you can get around a lot of little bits that would otherwise be a problem for more rigid structures. So being able to adjust it makes it a lot better and makes you give a really nice finished product. So the testing of the ground screws and the engineering of the structure itself means that we can provide a very firm structure that will last a long time and will manage to cope with the English weather and wind and rain that we have to deal with in this country.
Its stability, the way the ground screws go into the ground where a heavy clay, so I knew that was the right solution for us. I didn't want a monopole system, I wanted a dual pole screws going into the ground, because we get a lot of heavy winds here, so that was my main concern. I had to have stability, and it's already proved successful in that when we've seen high winds, when we've come down here in worst of the winds, and we're not seeing any movement whatsoever. All projects been very efficient, from dealing with Yoris at first base and David Page. We've worked with David 3 years ago, so no, project's gone very smoothly, very conscientious, and we've got a good system put together.